Hello and welcome to another tips and tricks video. Tonight I'm going to concentrate on this digital screen between your power meter and your gear indicator and your speedometer. And we're going to run through some of the functions and how to access some of the information in these screens. All the information that's available in this little screen, and it's a vast amount of information, is accessed through that button, and that toggle switch, which also says OK on it, and there are prompts on the screen when to push, because you can also push that button in to reset things, and the car actually gives you hints. It's like, if you look at the screen now, it says hold OK to reset. If I push that now, I'm going to lose my total average and it'll reset to 0. I don't want to do that because that's my average at the moment on the tank of petrol that I've got in the car. So I'm not pushing it on this occasion, but I will push it in the tutorial. There's a lot of information in this screen. So we'll start on the first screen. You can see there the leaf that was highlighted in green. That's your first menu, the very top menu. And that puts you into your average, in my case, the average for the fuel tank that I'm burning through now, and how many miles it estimates I've got left in the fuel tank. Now, that total average at the top is customizable. You don't have to have it in total average, you can have it in trip average. And what I'm going to do to get to the setting, I'll quickly show you how to get to the setting to change that. We'll come back to this screen and we'll go down them one at a time. I'm going to use the up and down switch here, and I'm going to come down, and I'm going to come down to where it says meter brightness. Then I'm going to use the left and right button. I know where this menu is, it's right at the end. You can either just one left and it'll take you to the settings menu, or you can scroll through each one individually. We'll do this all again later, and there's a lot of menus in there. Okay, we're in the settings screen now, and it's saying to me hold OK for detailed settings. So I'm going to push OK, and it's going to come into another menu where you can change the language, whether you're in miles per gallon, litres per 100 kilometres, etc. You go up and down now on that button there to pick the one you want. And as you can see, it highlights it. It's in kilometres per litre at the moment. I'm going to come down to litres per 100 kilometres, and if I press OK, it's now defaulted to litres per 100 kilometres. I want mine in miles per gallon, so I'm going to push OK again, come down to miles per gallon, push OK. That's what I want. These are personal settings. Everybody's going to be different, and if you live in Europe and you work in litres, you'll pick one of the other two settings. Now, we're not over on this menu now. If you carry on coming down and go to the leaf, which is the top one there, push OK, and you click on hybrid system, you can have your, you can turn your eco guidance on and off, which is the very last display you get in the car when you turn it off, where it tells you your gives you a score for every journey. I'd just leave that one on. Now you can see another, like a back arrow to the right of where it says hybrid system. That's also on the steering wheel next to the telephone button. So if I push that, I go back to the previous menu. I'm going to come down one more and push OK again, which will put me into, as you can see there, I'm on total average. If I go one up, I can select just a trip average. So I go back to my total average, and we'll back out of this menu now and go back up to the leaf there. So there's my total average on that display. I'll show you when I change it now. I'm going back to my settings. I'm going back to there. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to scroll down to the leaf. I'm going to push OK. Come down to fuel economy, push OK. Let's go to trip average and select trip average. Again, back right out and go back up to the top. And you can see the display's now changed. It's now showing me my trip average for the journey I've just done. Let's go back to the settings. Come back down to the leaf. Go back to a fuel economy, all on the little button. And we'll do tank average. Scroll up to the top. This tank of fuel has averaged 54.8 miles to the gallon. I know I leave mine in total average, but every time I fill up, I just reset it. I shouldn't do that really. I should leave the total average alone and just leave it in tank average, but I've always just put it into total average. It's just something I've always done, because if you want to get the total average of the car, you've got access to that in the My Toyota app. So I'm going to go back to my settings, the ones that I like to use. This is just an example of where to find things. I think the system actually remembers anyhow what your total averages are, but like I say, I keep resetting mine every time I do a tank of fuel. So that's how you change that setting. We'll go back to the top one. I needed to show you that. You've also got in there, this is the information the car always displays when you finish a journey. It'll tell you how good you were at accelerating, how good you were at cruising, how good you are at stopping, whether you've been harsh, whether you've been gentle. And all this information is in that little screen there, and again I'm only accessing all these screens through that button, that toddle up and down button, and backtracking on the backtrack button. So we've had a look at that menu. Let's come down one. Now this is where this screen only becomes available if you've got inbuilt sat-nav. There's an inbuilt compass in the car, and at the moment I'm pointing north. But if I was to put a destination in my sat-nav, not only will the sat-nav give me all the information, but it'll tell me my next junction, it'll show me pictures of roundabouts, and give me road names and everything. Like at the moment it's showing Abergele there, but it'll give you the road names and give you your guidance. That's really handy. And if you come one across again, it gives you a bigger version of, under the time there you've got your lane track assist, it gives you a bigger version of lane track assist, but in that screen you also get the speed limit for the road. That's my setting, so I'm going to leave it there. You can play with them to your heart's content and set them up how you like. We'll come back down to the next one. In this case, it's what information you can glean about what you're listening to. If I turn the audio on, I'm not volume down. At the moment, I'm listening to music off my phone. So it's telling me I'm on Bluetooth audio. It's telling me I'm on track 15 and I'm listening to Brandi Carlile. If I go to the big screen now and pick another source, let's go DAB. Turn the volume down so I don't get copyrighted. I'm on Radio 2. On the screen there, it's now telling me I'm on DAB and I'm listening to Radio 2. If I pick Radio 4, it'll tell me. Radio 6, it'll tell me. Radio 1 Extra, whatever. All the information is given to you there. So you don't have to keep looking at the big screen, it's all in front of you. If we come down again on that button, we'll come off the radio list. And we'll come down to the screen I use the most. My default screen when I turn the car on always defaults to that. To be honest, whatever you leave the car in, being if you leave it in, say you leave it in that screen, turn it off. When you come to it the next time, turn it back on. It'll always be in the screen you left it. Always. This is giving you your trip information. I've travelled 4.6 miles to come out and do this video tonight. I did stop to talk to a friend, so I've been out since leaving the house an hour and a minute. If I go one to the right, this now gives me my energy monitor, which you're all used to if you've had a hybrid, because you're gleaming out of that screen exactly what you get out of that screen. It just puts it in front of you again, so you're not taking your eye off the road. The trip information that's on that little screen is also available on the big screen. There's a lot of information doubled up in these hybrids. Then you've got your history, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tanks of fuel that I've put in this car. Best tank of fuel I had, as an average, 59.6. And you can see they do vary a little bit. They go up and down. That tank number 3 there was when we had the snow. The fuel consumption always drops a little bit when the temperatures are really, really low, because the car engine tends to run a lot more because you want heat, and the heat's coming from water which needs to be warmed up, so that's why it's a bit lower there, and it's crept up. That one there, I'm only halfway through a tank. So that screen is available there, that's that screen. If you go one more across to the right, we now go to our tyre pressure monitoring screen. If you have a tyre pressure monitoring warning light come on, it'll highlight it on this screen. When you pump the tyre back up with your pump, and you then get in the car and you drive off, this will figure it out for itself. You don't need to reset anything, just let the car do it. So I'm going back to my screen. Now we come down to the screen where you can do a lot of customization. These are all accessed via the left and right button and the OK button. So let's go through them one at a time. Meter brightness. Click on OK. Puts you into another screen where you can change the backlighting. There we go, that's as bright as it'll go. And you just find the setting you like. When you're finished in that one, as you're prompted on the screen with the back arrow, push the back arrow, you'll come out of that setting. Next one along is your lane track assist. We'll press OK. If you want your lane centering on, I've got mine turned off, press OK. Lane steering assist is now active, and so is my lane centering. All I've got activated now is my steering assist. I've turned my lane centering off. Put it back on. Lane centering is now active. I run mine off, but I still like the steering assist. Next one down from that, that's accessed on the up and down button. I go up, back to lane centre, down to alert. Again, you're prompted to press OK to change any settings in there. One of the alerts I find very annoying. It vibrates the steering wheel. I prefer the bing that the car makes. The car will make a bing. Say you stray across onto a white line, the car will highlight whichever white line you're getting close to on the lane track assist screen, and also audibly tell you. I don't like the vibration function. You can also turn the sensitivity of the system up and down. I think you get two settings on this. Again, it's OK, and that puts it to the highest setting. Press OK again, takes it to the minimum setting. My preference is minimum. You might like it the other way, but you can experiment with the car. That's why it's so customizable. We'll back out of that screen and go across to that one, which is the pre-collision system. All you can do with this is press OK, change the sensitivity, and that's done on the left and right button. You press OK, sorry, that's done on the OK button. You press the OK button and it changes it. I leave that in maximum. Again, it prompts you to press the go back button, and you can move on to the next. BSM, I need to look up what that stands for. That I need to find out. I'll put it in a highlight above the video to tell you what BSM stands for. I've not changed that since I bought the car because I don't know what it is, because I haven't read the handbook. But now I'm going to be prompted to read the handbook to see what it means. I might have an understanding. It might be a setting I can change. So let's back out again. This one, because it's got parking sensors on, I can turn the parking sensors on and off. I can actually turn that one on and off as well. That's a short push on the button. So if I hold the OK button, that one gives me an audible alert. Say I'm getting too close to a car when I'm parking into a parking space forwards, and again it works backwards. This car's also got auto braking, so it will actually stop for you when you're in that situation. So we'll come out of that one. There's more to go. This one is for the rear crash detection system. This is another one. One short push on the OK button, you can turn it on and off. Or if you hold the button, again it gives you another setting. Again, the audible warning, you can change the volume. That's another one, PKSB. I don't know what the acronym stands for. All I know is you can turn it on and off. I'll put that in a highlight above the video as well. That is the system that reads road signs. I've got mine set. There are multiple settings on it. I've never looked at others. Visual and audio, only visual, no notification. I want visual and audio, so I'm going to leave that one set. And again, I leave mine on above speed limit. This is a multi-function. Yeah, you can play with the settings. That one is for the above speed limit setting that you've got. You can set the car to give you a bing and a warning, 1 mile an hour above a speed limit, 3 and 5. I've defaulted to 3 miles an hour. Personal preference again, it might vary from country to country depending how strict they are on speed limits. 2 or 3 miles an hour over the speed limit in Britain, and you're not normally going to get a speeding ticket. But sometimes you do sort of just drift over the speed limit, and it's nice just to have that warning that you've gone a little bit over. That is another one, DRCC and RSA. I need to know what the acronym stands for. But again, that one can be turned on and off with a little push on the OK button. Again, I'll put them acronyms into the video. Next one along. Press OK to get detailed settings. This is where you turn your reminder off. Say you've left something on the back seat. and you've forgotten about it. What the car will do when you turn off, it will say to you, check rear seat. It'll tell you when you get out, just before you get out of the car, in case you've left anything in the back. All I've got in the back is Beethoven. I never leave her in the car, so I don't forget to take her out. Then we could come down to the tyre pressure warning system settings. This is where you can set your units of, again, this is a preference. Some people like tyre pressures in bars, kPa or PSI. I use PSI because that's what I've always used. But again, that's a personal preference. Say you've had a tyre rotation. This is the menu you come to. I'm not going to push it now because my car knows where all the tyres are. But what you do is follow the instructions. It says hold OK to identify wheel. And it tells you what to do after you've done that. I've never done it, but the car does actually tell you. It'll probably tell you to drive down the road at a certain speed, so the tyre pressures can be read, and then it'll identify different wheels and put them in the right place on the tyre display monitor. I've pressed OK. It's accepted the tyre pressures that are in the car, whatever that means. I've pushed something I've never pushed before. Won't worry about it. We'll go back to that later, to the tyre pressure thing. This is something that should be done by Toyota when you take your car in for a service. They should reset the oil maintenance. And what I mean by reset it is, like, down here you've got how many miles the car's done, and you've got a little button to one side where you can trip A, trip B, and then it tells you how far you've got to go to the next service, and it's always counting down. When that gets close to, I normally book mine in a couple hundred miles before. This is the menu. You reset that in and zero it after it's had a service. Sometimes the techie will forget to do it. This is where you do it. It's an easy one to do. You've just got to remember where it is. That's all the vehicle settings. This is the one we looked at earlier. This is the one where you can change languages. My car's only programmed in 3 languages, I think. Oh no, it's not. It's got lots and lots and lots of different languages in it. I've never scrolled through this. Some of them I could guess at, but I'm going to embarrass myself. Oh, that one's got to be Italian. That one's Spanish. Dutch. Portuguese. Oh, there's a lot in there. I've missed English. There it is. I'm selecting English because that's what I want mine in. Again, that again is another customizable item you can look at. We looked at that one earlier. Miles per gallon, litres. That's to do with your fuel consumption. That one is to turn the EV light on and off. I don't know if you saw it go off when I pushed that, but it came back on then. That's all that one does. We looked at the Leaf earlier on. That was that one we looked at. Music settings. I've never played with that one. I just leave it on. It was defaulted to on. That's for turning the energy monitor on and off. I'm just going to leave it on because I like it. Another customizable one, your trip, your total. Yep, there's lots and lots to play with. This is all to do with other menus, like the distance you've done on an individual trip or just the total time. There's so many things that you can alter and play with. You just need the confidence. To go and play with them. There's lots and lots of things that are customizable on these cars. That is turning this display on and off, mid-off, mid-on. You can forget about that one, just leave it on. And if you've messed up on anything, just default it back to factory settings and have another play. So if you mess something up, don't worry about it. If you put it in a language you don't understand, find that setting, put it back into default, and you're away. You can go do all your settings again. The last one, you get text message on your phone. It comes up here. You can read it whilst you're driving. Don't advise reading text messages when you're driving, because if you're running on Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, you've got the option on the big screen for the system to actually verbally read the messages for you. So we've just been through every single menu on that, and I know this video is going to be long, and what I advise you to do with this video is watch it, find the section you need to find information about, and just go through that separate section, that one little piece, glean the information you want, and don't worry if you mess something up, because I've just shown you how to put it back into default settings. You won't break it. Play, experiment. The whole idea of it is you customize your displays to how you want them. So I'm going to go back to where I want my car. I need to drive down the road now for them to re-recognise the tyre pressures. They will do it. They will come back on. In fact, I'm going to drive away with them on. And we're on 8. Oh, and let's get off the spanner one. Go back into mileage. 1757. Let's see how long that takes the system to recognise the tyres. And as soon as they pop up, I'll stop. I'll fire the camera back up, and we can see how long it took them to read the tyre pressures. I won't sign off on the video yet. I'll do that once we've done that. The moment I started moving, this message came up on the screen, identifying each wheel and position, and the tyre pressure monitoring warning light flashing. I'll clock the mileage when it reads the tyre pressures. Right, we have now got tyre pressure sensors all identified on the car. And the car's taken 2 miles to do it, of just gentle driving down a country lane. That's all you need to do if you need to change your tyre pressure sensor. Just tell it to identify the sensors, and it will do it. Same goes if you pump a tyre up. Like if if I pumped that driver's side front up now, the one that says 34, it'll take a little bit of driving just for the car to recognise the tyre pressure I've put in the car. Anyhow, this has been a long video, so I'm going to sign off now, and I hope you can get some information out of this video, because there's been quite a lot of information to try and get over. I didn't want to do it one menu at a time. I wanted to do the whole lot in one go, and I've got things I need to find out. Like I said, I'll flash them up in the video, what their acronyms stand for. In fact, I'll put them all in, because they're nice to know what they actually stand for. Anyway, thanks again for watching another video out of the Yaris GR Sport. Thanks again for watching the North Wales side-by-side video. If you like these sorts of videos, please click like. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you very much for watching.